What's up? My name is Doug, the Bearded Outdoorsman. Welcome to another video. If you enjoy beard product reviews, gear reviews, EDC videos, then you have definitely come to the right channel. Today, we're gonna be taking a look at my Get Home bag. I'll explain more after the intro. All right, guys, welcome back. So like I said in the beginning, we're gonna be taking a look at my Get Home bag. Now, what is a Get Home bag? It is not a bug out bag. We're not trying to survive off of this thing for an extended period of time. What this bag is a bag that I keep in my toolbox on my truck, and if something were to happen to where I couldn't get home due to weather, traffic, truck breakdown, whatever, and I needed to huff it through the woods or however to get home, I could live off this for long enough to get me home or to get me where I need to go. So I'm gonna go through this and we'll show you now. There are some things in here that I can probably take out, but it's not like I'm carrying this every day. I'm not hiking with this, so I can go a little heavier with it to make sure I have what I need. So this is a 40-liter pack I picked up. Now, a lot of the things that I'm gonna show you that are in this pack came in through my Nomadic Box subscription. So what I can find, I will drop links in the description below for as much of this stuff as I can find. This pack, for example, did come off of Amazon. It is a Venture Pal 40-liter pack. I don't remember prices on any of this stuff, but it's a pretty small, compact. It's got compression straps on the side, so it gives me a good way of packing this bad boy down, so it doesn't take up a whole lot of room in my toolbox. So you can see it is pretty small. But we've got compression straps on the side. We've got pockets on either side here, and we've got a whistle on the strap, which comes on the sternum strap. So this has 1, 2, 3 exterior pockets, not counting the 2 mesh elastic pockets. So I'm gonna dive in this and I'm gonna pull everything out and show you everything I have and explain to you a little bit of why I have what I have picked to go in this bag. So we'll start with the outside. Let's get these compression straps undone. But I really like this pack for this because it's smaller. It's not too big, but it's not too small. So what I have in here is an empty smart water bottle. Gives me a chance. I don't want to put water in it and leave water in it for the chance of it going bad. But if something were to happen, it gives me a way to store water, to have some water. Also, if there's no really good source of water to obtain water from my bottle, I've got the life straw right here. So I just have it wrapped around and hooked on with the compression strap, so I know it's not gonna fall out in my truck. And so yeah, so let's dive in. The front pocket is a little bit smaller. So what we have in here, and I just threw this cheap poncho in here. So I've got that, 2 packs of hot hands, just in case the weather's cold. Now this, I know I'm gonna get eaten up in the comments by people who know stuff about Get Home bags and bug out bags. This is not like gonna last me forever. I'm gonna have to replace this food periodically, but this is stuff that I grabbed literally out of my pantry and put in here. So we've got a couple packs of crackers, some granola bars. I've got a hydration drink mix in here, and some freeze-dried fruit. So all in a gallon Ziploc bag, zipped up, sealed up, and put in here in a pinch. If I needed a bad situation, I needed to get out of my truck and leave my truck, I've got something at least to put in my body. A spork, you never know. I know this stuff doesn't need it, but say I come across something that weighs literally nothing. So we've got a compass, Carmex, which is dual purpose. I'll explain that in a minute. A Sharpie, a Write in the Rain notepad, and in the event that I don't have anywhere to put my phone and I need to keep it dry and stable while I get where I'm going, I have a waterproof phone case. Now again, build your bag how you want and what you want. This is just an example of the things that I have in my pack. So let me get all this stuff back in here. And some of this is just come from years of hiking, so I know some things to have, and I have the space for a few extra things, so it doesn't hurt to have a spork when I may not need one, but I've got it. This little zippered Molly pouch, this is my first aid. So what I have in here is a hiker medic first aid kit. This did come in one of my nomadic boxes, so got that. We've got a tourniquet, full-size Cat 2 tourniquet, and we've got trauma pack. So got all that stuff. Now I know what somebody's gonna say, oh well, it's hard to get to all that. Yes, but at the same time, I want my get home bag, I don't want it to look like a military bag. I don't want it to look, I want to be able to blend in. I want it to look like a backpack. So if I am stranded in a town, I can kind of blend in and kind of move where I need to go and get somewhere. So first aid is tucked down, but it's in the front pocket, so it's a little easier to get to. Tucked down in the very bottom of there. Put our food back in. All right, so let's zip that back up. I don't know what brand. Let's see, Ace Camp is the compass. It's an Ace Camp compass. This did come in one of my nomadic boxes as well. Let's get that zip back up. And then in our main pocket, I have, this is a outdoor product, 5x7 tarp. Cheap from Walmart. It didn't cost a whole lot of money, a couple dollars, but I've had it for a really long time, so I'm not using it for anything else. So if I need to set up camp, set up an overnight shelter, this in a fly ground cloth a shelter, this will work for a lot of different things. So we got that. A spare, you're gonna say I'm crazy, a spare pair of shoes. This is just an old pair of shoes I used to wear hiking all the time. I've got them hooked together with a carabiner. In the event I need to take them out, I can hang them on my pack. But just a spare pair of shoes if I'm wearing boots and the situation calls where I may have to run or whatever, those are gonna be a lot more comfortable than my boots. I've got a fixed blade, full tang Gerber knife. Now this knife right here, I've never done a review on this knife because it's no longer available by Gerber. This is the Big Rock, I believe. An amazing fixed blade, full tang knife. You can see how thick that is. Works great for batoning and stuff like that. So got that in. So big blade. I know solar's not gonna always be something that I would have option of, but I've got the Lucy Light. This, like I said, again, came in my nomadic box. The Lucy Light is solar powered here, and it blows up and expands and becomes a light, a lantern. Quick start fire starters. I have not tested these and reviewed these yet, but I am going to. I've got 2 packs of these, but there's 3 fire starters in this sealed up pouch. And so fire starters. And then the big boy, I can get it out. This I purchased on Amazon. This is the East Hills Outdoors Skyloft. This is a hammock, bug net, rain fly, straps, everything you need for a sleep system is right here, other than a quilt and stuff like that. So got that. One thing I do need to add to this is an emergency, like a space blanket. That's coming. I've got to do that. But this is a great setup. It's a hammock, straps, bug net, and rain fly. Depending on your situation, you can hang what you want to get by. We're gonna leave that out for a minute. We have one pocket up front inside, and in here I've got some reflective paracord from Gear Aid. This again came in nomadic box. I'm gonna swap this out. This is a 30-foot shank. I'm gonna swap this out with either some black or some camo, just again so it would be something that would blend in. So paracord. And then this top inside pocket is kind of miscellaneous items. Things that were a little bit too small to go anywhere else in the pack. And so I've got a Lux Pro flashlight. This is the LP 251. This came in one of my pneumatic boxes. I actually have the batteries out of it. Because I'm keeping this in my toolbox, I didn't want it to corrode and all that kind of stuff. I want it to be useful when I need it. So I've got my batteries taped up there, kept them separate. We've got what brand is this? Yuko Fire Steel Fire Starter. Came in pneumatic box. This is one thing that always comes in pneumatic boxes. It seems like every 3 or 4 pneumatic boxes you get one of these, but it's got some tools on there as well. It's a scraper, but got a fire steel. We've got our Yuko waterproof matches as well. In the event that we need to, we've got some stormproof waterproof matches, and this has a fire starter block inside there if you need it in a pinch, but that seals up with an O-ring, so it is waterproof. The old handsaw, I can't remember a brand, but these are pretty cheap. You can pick these up just about anywhere. Literally open it out of the pack and threw it in here so it's all still together. And then we've got the Ace Camp multi-tool. Now, I've not thrown any of my Swiss Army knives in here because I carry them, I use them. This is gonna be something in a pinch. Also, I always have a Swiss Army knife on me, so if I'm having to vacate my truck, things in my pocket will still be in my pocket. Now, I said with the Carmex, there was a dual purpose for that. Carmex works really well as a fire starter. So in a pinch, if I have a little bit of tinder or whatever, I can squeeze some of that Carmex off or out and grab my fire steel and I can get a fire. It'll catch that Carmex. It's like Vaseline. It'll catch and it'll get a really good fire long enough to get your fire going, your main fire. So you'll see in this, I have more than one light source. I have more than one fire source or heat source, and I have more than one tarp. So I have multiple different options. This is not something that I'm carrying on my back, so I do have the ability to pack it in like this and basically have it if I need it. So let me get some of this stuff back in here because there's one more pocket. So now I lost my batteries. Oh, we'll find the batteries in a minute. So the last pocket on here is on the outside on the back. Now this is designed for a hydration bladder. Unzip, and if you can see that, that is a plastic liner. It's pretty thick too. There's my batteries. So the only thing I have in here just to kind of keep it dry is a pretty big bandana. So we've got that. If I need it to filter, whatever, but it stays in here so I know it will stay dry. The only other thing that I may do besides adding a emergency blanket would be maybe adding some sort of like empty gallon Ziploc bags so I can keep stuff dry if I needed to in a pinch. This bag is really cool because if the need arose that I needed to dump everything and use the bag for something else, I could. This inside pocket that I have miscellaneous things in, this entire bag, if empty, this entire bag will fit into this little pocket, and then you have a zippered closure and a little hanging loop that you can hang. So it's really cool. It's a packable bag. So there's that. I think this is more than enough stuff. If there's something that you see that I'm missing, go ahead and drop it in the comments and let me know. If you have a get home bag, let me know. Tell me what you got in yours. And I'll try to have links to all of this stuff that I can in the comments and in the description below, so you can go check out if you want to build you a bag. I would venture to say this total, if I bought everything outright, would be less than $200. And I say that because I don't remember how much this hammock setup was, and the bag, I don't remember how much the bag was, but everything else was pretty inexpensive. A lot of it, like I said, came in pneumatic boxes, but you can buy it all individually. This video is a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it's a get home bag. My goal with this is to grab it and go. I've got a few little things in my truck, like my pew pew that I would grab and throw on my hip. Extra magazine in my truck as well. I would grab that, throw it in the bag, and that part is good and ready to go. so I don't have to have one in here. But lighting, fire, food, and water, I'm pretty good. So if I missed anything, like I said before, drop it in the comments and let me know. I'd love to hear you guys' opinion on this. Yeah, everything I have in here has a purpose. If you see something that you say, hey, I know I've got 2 knives and all that kind of stuff, so don't beat me up about some of the stuff I've picked. I'm gonna play around with it, and I may change some stuff out. If I do, I'll do an update video. That is it, and I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, and make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, until next time, stay bearded, get outdoors, and God bless.